You've got mail. Alright, let's see who this is from. Only one letter this time. Hey, it's from Beetle. It's to warn me that they have a new product that we can buy at Beetle's shop ship, and these are bombs. As we're going to learn later, Beetle got these from the pirates. Don't ask me why the pirates were willing to part from these, but oh well. It's one more opportunity for me to buy bombs, even though, as I said before, they're easily found on the field. And we just got Beetle's chart, which allows us to quickly find where each of Beetle's shop ships are. So, now that we're done on Windfall Island, I was about to say we're going to head northwest, but first we gotta listen to the King of Red Lions ramble on. Our preparations are complete. No, they're not! Look at my wallet size! It's about high time I did something about that. So, this is going to be my very first priority, which is why I'm going to be heading northwest first. So I'm going to alter the wind direction in order to do that. And our next destination is going to be Northern Fairy Island, which is located on square A3 of the map, directly northwest of here. And we made it, and apparently we also have the appropriate treasure chart, which we're going to take care of in just 1 second. Over there, we got the map fish, which I'm going to talk to, as usual, in order to fill up my sea chart, and it's also going to provide me an opportunity to talk about the hints that this guy gives. Some of them are interesting, some of them really aren't, but sometimes it makes for good rant material, so hey, why not humor the guy and listen to him for a moment? So as I said, square A3 of the map, this is Northern Fairy Island. And what is this one going to talk about? Not the ghost ship, I would imagine. Little Shopmaster on Windfall Island. Okay, he's talking about the magic armor that Zunari has over on Windfall Island, and unfortunately he's rather helpless when telling me how to actually get it. But fortunately, that's why I'm here. I'm going to take care of it once I get there, of course. So, now we can head back over to the island. Not even going to bother changing wind direction for this, because I can just sort of weave my way around the fact that I'm going against the wind. And on the island, there is another blue, I was about to say blue chew jelly, but a blue chew, rather, that carries blue chew jelly. So I'm just going to kill him real quick. As I said, there's a finite amount of these things in the game. The jelly, not the blue chews, that is. There are 23 blue chew jellies in the game, I believe. Anyway, heading down there, we get our very first fairy fountain in the game. That's right, 22 parts in, and we just now get around to meeting the Great Fairy for the first time. And in this game, let me just say, they look creepy. They look like their palettes were reversed or something. It just doesn't sit right with me the way they look. But hey, who am I to complain? The main problem that I've had early in the game is now resolved, because I can now carry up to 1,000 rupees. And you know what the sad thing is? We're going to be filling that up almost entirely by the time we get to Outset Island. This is sad. Anyway, we got a few fairies to use. I'm just going to get rid of that green potion that I got from Doc Bandan, because green potions suck ass, as I've said before. I'm going to go for a fairy instead. Still very useful at this stage of the game, considering I only have 7 hearts so far. So now that our errands are done here, before I go, I'm just going to kill that blue chew again, if you don't mind, because as you notice, those guys always drop 10 rupees, and now that I can actually carry them, it's about time I start collecting some of them, because we're going to be hitting the big rupee sinks pretty hardcore. Whoa, I was sort of worried that it would hit me on the island, but it wasn't even close. So, now that we have our new wallet, we can actually look for the treasure that's lost in this area. This is treasure chart 24. So let's head into the King of Red Lions and start looking for it. Unfortunately, the Beacon of Light is gone, so I guess I'm going to have to trust the treasure chart on that one. Just going to shut up to hear it. Okay, we're good. So, this is something that I tend to do, to listen to the sound of the treasure, because, yeah, it makes a sound for some reason that you probably heard just now, but, yeah, this is something that I tend to do, not rely on charts, instead, make a course directly for the treasure, and stop when I start hearing the sound. So, 200 rupees, which puts me at a grand total of 410. Now, there is a submarine on this square of the map that contains a treasure chart, so I'm going to look for it. Where is it? I don't see it at all. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to head over there and get the treasure that's over there. I'm going to give you a good piece of advice for getting those treasures up. Whenever you see those shapes on the water, I don't really know how to call them. They're induced by the cel-shaded graphics, I would imagine. But when you see those shapes, definitely do not hesitate to use them to your advantage. Notice where the Ring of Light is, then when it disappears, you're going to know perfectly where it is, so you won't have to do some trial and error. Okay, finally found the submarine. There are a few rafts next to it, so I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to grab a few more joy pendants, since when doing the editing for the last video, I noticed that I was still missing 4 of them in order to get it's the hero's charm, yeah, that's given to you when you give her 40 in total. So yeah, I was missing 4, and by the way, you can't give them to her during the Endless Night arc for some weird reason. Come on, give me your joy pendant. I don't know why this tends to happen. You know, I throw the grappling hook and then nothing happens. It just plinks off harmlessly. I remember that it happened in the Forbidden Woods against P-Hat somehow, and I lost my patience and killed it instead. But yeah, I don't know why that happened, because there was nothing getting in the way. And I love attacking them when they start yawning, like, gee, it sure is boring around, or something like that, you know. And will you just stop flopping around like a fish? Let me combo you for once, instead of just getting one hit, you go down, and then you know what would be good to have? The finishing blow from Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. That would be really useful to finish off those bastards. Then again, it would be a bit broken against stuff like Moblins and Darknuts. And speaking of Moblins, there's a whole bunch of them in this submarine. Remember how it was actually sort of tricky in the forest, the Forbidden Woods rather, against those two Moblins in a sardine can? Well, we're going to be dealing with pretty much the same thing here. Just look at that. I'm sort of stuck in the corner here because I don't want to wake any more of these bastards. They just keep getting back up. So, by the way, you've probably noticed by now, but they can use their halberds defensively as well. They can block all your attacks with it. So, when that happens, just I would say be patient, but you don't want to give them enough time to actually hurt you. Come on! Let yourself be killed. Thank you. Okay, now let's see what's in those piñatas. Ooh, lots of money and some hearts, too. Wow, it's like I almost got like 50 rupees just from these piñatas alone. Pretty cool, so yeah, those wallet upgrades, very, very important that you get them as early as possible. Whoa! I was sort of glitching out there. I was sort of wondering if I was going to go through the wall of the submarine, or maybe the Moblin would do it, because we both came pretty close to doing it. And if you can avoid them getting their halberds back, it's a pretty good idea as well, because then they can't use them to block your attacks. Of course, the problem is that it takes a little while longer to kill them, because they spend a lot of time on their backs. But anyway, we finally killed all 4 moblins, and usually, when you kill all the enemies in a submarine like this, usually there will be a ladder that will appear that will lead the way to the treasure, but unfortunately, this submarine is different. Remember that test we did in the last video with Nico? Well, it's about time to put it to use, because the way you're meant to get over there is by playing Tarzan once again. So, you're going to get a little feeling of deja vu, which reminds me, while I'm seeing it, you may notice that there's a little graphical glitch when there's fire on the screen, like the fire from these lanterns. Now you may be asking, didn't you use an action replay code to prevent those glitches from happening? Well, this is this is a whole different glitch entirely. This isn't the same thing at all. It's a lot more minor, for one. It doesn't make the game almost unplayable like the other glitch did, but just so you know, I don't think that... well, there's probably a workaround that involves increasing the settings, but I can't really do that, else I'm going to hit massive slowdown whenever I'm in a combat situation. So you see those settings I have right now? They're here to stay, unfortunately. So let's grab that treasure chart and get out of here. And I might as well mention that from now on, I'm going to be opening these treasure charts off screen, because there's really nothing exciting about watching me open a bunch of treasure charts. So, I'll see you on the next island. Mother and Child Isles on Square B2. And you see that? No, you gotta be kidding me. Look at that map fish spawn position. It's right next to the freaking cyclone. Oh my god. At least I'm gonna try and get these rupees. Here's something, so it's gotta be down there. But yeah, I was about to say... do not... Whoa! King of Reliance was spazzing out there for some reason. But yeah, as I was about to say, if you don't have the bow, do not go anywhere near this cyclone. And look at that. The mapfish is almost right on top of it. I've never seen such a bad mapfish spawn location in my entire life. Anyway, let's check out this island, see what we can do right now. Which really isn't a whole lot, except maybe pillaging the belongings of the poor traveling merchant that's on this island. Because that's right, the last of the 3 traveling merchants is on this island. And unfortunately, as I said, oh my god, look at that map fish position. This is going to be a toughie. But yeah, as I was about to say... the next step of the trading sequence is all the way on Bomb Island, so I'm just going to listen to his life story, so that's done by the time I come back to this island the next time, because I'm going to be coming back here a few times to partake in this trading sequence. And also, you may have noticed the giant outcropping of rock next to this island. It's actually very important later on, but for now, there's nothing we can do about it. As you may have guessed, the only way in is from the sky, basically, and this is where those cyclones are supposed to come in. Unfortunately, we can't harness the power of these cyclones until we have the bow, at the very least. So let's pull out the bait and try to find where the matfish is. Yes, I think it's really close to the cyclone. Where is it? Not seeing it. Where the hell's the matfish? Yoo-hoo, matfish! Oh, there it is! I was about to freak out because the cyclone is getting closer and closer and closer, and I still wasn't seeing it. But yeah, something that I also should mention about this island is that some of the other matfish told me that this is the place where I could get the power of fire and ice. Unfortunately, as you might have guessed, it's on the big island, the one you can only access from above, so no fire and ice for us just yet. They say that inside the Ring of Rock, okay, there lives an incredibly beautiful fairy. This is sort of awkward considering that the fairy that's in there is actually a child fairy. Creepy pedo matfish much? This game, I swear.